Hey gang, what's up? Welcome back here to another edition of The Fishing Teacher, and thanks a lot for checking today's video out. And guys, today we're going to be talking about the difference between a balsa crankbait that's made out of wood and the more modern ones that are made out of plastic. And there's two different situations where these work in really good, so I'm going to sort of give you guys a foundation on when to choose a wooden bait over a plastic bait. So real quick guys, I just want to invite everybody out there to consider possibly becoming a channel member of The Fishing Teacher. It's a good way to support the channel content, and channel members get access to my personal email address for your fishing questions. So if you're interested in that, you can go to my homepage at my Fishing Teacher YouTube homepage, click on the join button, or just go to the about section and click on membership. So much appreciated with that. Okay guys, when you're talking about crankbaits, years ago, specifically with square bill crankbaits, everything was made out of wood. Now this is an old balsa B3 made out of balsa. It's a Bagley balsa B3 wooden crankbait. And this was sort of like the staple, for many, many years, on this type of a crankbait profile. That's a wooden crankbait. And the advantage of this thing is it's extremely buoyant. It's like if you hit it along the bottom and you're working it down the bottom, and say, for example, if you let it stop, it floats up real quick because of the balsa wood. Whereas the plastic, when you're working it down there and you let it floats up a little bit slower there. So that's one of the biggest characteristics with that. And there's also some differences in the action of the bait, the profile of the bait, just in general, just the way the bait looks. Overall, the plastic gives you more of a diversity, especially in color choices, because with the plastic, you can have like a clear-sided one like this, or you can have a matte finish or a metallic finish. And the balsa crankbaits, you're limited to some type of a metallic or flat finish, foil finish or something like that. So those are the main differences. Now the topic for today is we're going to talk about when you want to use the wooden balsa crankbaits over anything else. The main thing that I have found with these guys is that it works good in the summer months when the fish are a little bit more aggressive, because a balsa bait is sort of naturally designed to work faster through the water, because you're not really concerned about fishing it slow in the summer because the metabolisms of the fish are a little bit faster. So in general, you're fishing a crankbait faster in the summertime, and also you're fishing it around wood specifically. A crankbait fish shallow around lay down trees and stumps and logs and docks and stuff like that is a great way to catch bass. And the advantage of balsa is when you come down through like a limb, say for example you throw it next to a limb and you're say this is the limb and your bait crawls over the limb, the balsa allows it to float up quicker where it doesn't get hung up quite as much. So if you're, say for example, you're hung up like this and you're jiggling your rod tip to get that thing loose, a lot of times the balsa one will come loose quicker simply because of the buoyancy with it. And then again, there is some differences in just the action and the fact that balsa crankbaits or wooden crankbaits are silent. They don't have any type of rattle system, and a lot of the plastic ones do. So sometimes it's really good to have a silent bait, especially if those fish are not very aggressive, if you got like a bright sunny day, something like that. But I use them both, guys. I use, probably 75% of the time I'm using this Megabass S crank right here. Works really good under a lot of different applications. And 25% of the year I'm using a balsa crankbait. Again, normally when I'm thinking balsa, I'm thinking about stained water visibility of like say less than 1.5 feet, and a lot of wood. If I got flat banks with a lot of wood, stained water and warm water, a lot of times the balsa crankbait will outproduce the plastic one. So anyway guys, it's just another thing to add to your arsenal. Like I said, give them a try. They don't get fish near as much as we used to. I mean, like I said, there's so many companies out there that make a good plastic square bill crankbait or crankbait that the old balsa sort of fell by the wayside, but there's definitely still a time and place for it. So hope that helps guys. I'll see y'all later.